Good morning, everyone. My name is Gregory Ashe. I'm going to be the host of this brand new podcast by the name of DATAMINDZ, where science and art converge. Today, on the first episode, what we're going to cover is what the show's all about, what we're going to talk about in the future, and different things we're going to do in the future. So first off, my name is Gregory Ashe, CTO, founder of M1 Data and Analytics. I'm also a data and technology consultant. This has lent a hand to me sitting in on some end user type clients and listening to pitches, hearing different technology terms, hot words, keywords, whatever you want to call them in a sales pitch. And I always see that the entire audience in the room just kind of glazes over. So I thought, what better way to address this concern is to start a podcast and just address, what do these terms mean? What do they really mean in the back end of things? Make it a short podcast. Each episode's probably, we're aiming for 10 to 20 minutes, something you can easily listen to on your way to work, in the morning, sitting in traffic, while you're eating your breakfast, whatever have you. Just a short, simple, hey, here's some keywords, here's some key information. This is what you need to know so that you don't get caught up in all the lipstick in the meeting. So as I said, my name's Gregory Ashe, CTO, founder of M1 Data and Analytics, been around for 13 years. Data consultancy practice, a consultant, everything from Fortune 50 companies that are global, all the way down to small startups. With that, it's lent an amazing amount of experience in the development world, the technology world, the data world, and also as a business aspect. It's taught me an immense amount of things. This has really humbled me, and it's allowed me to understand different aspects of business, marketing, and things of that nature. So, for instance, we're going to talk about what's the difference between geofencing, and geoframing, and how does one play better for whatever your ultimate goal is versus a different alternate goal. Two companies could have the same objective, but want to take a different path to get to that objective. We're going to talk about things such as identity resolution versus identity graph. Do they mean the same thing? Are they the same thing? All of these hot words that you hear in meetings and, you're just absolutely confused. You jot down some notes. You're busy trying to figure things out rather than paying attention to it. And let's face it, there's just a ton of hoopla and fluff and lipstick that goes into a sales pitch anyway. So how do we break down a sales pitch, look at the grassroots of what things are? This way, if it's the right thing to do for your company moving forward that achieves your goals. The other thing we're going to address is the, multiple products that, from the outside looking in are different products versus whether or not they're the same product. One of the things on the consultancy side of my life that I've seen the most, sitting in on all of these different pitches, is the same product being pitched 20 different ways. That makes them look like different products altogether, but at the end of the day, they're the same product. It's achieving the same goal. So what key points do we have to look at? Again, all about achieving whatever the end goal is for the desired end user client in their marketing strategies. The other thing that we're also going to do on this show is I intend to bring in other podcasters. I listen to a ton of podcasts myself. One of them, Car Guys Coffee, big shout out to those guys. They're actually helping me produce this podcast. They're also the guys that convinced me to do the podcast, or one of, I should say. So huge shout out to Fred and Lou. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to create an email address for you guys to email, guys, gals, whomever, to actually email questions into us. So if you're in a meeting, you get some fluff or whatever you want to call it, and you don't really understand, you want us to address it on the show, we're absolutely going to do that. Going to try and cover as many topics as possible. Obviously, things that kind of go together or things that you would hear in a singular meeting that, and trying to address all those topics instead of kind of being scatterbrained and all over the place. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm scatterbrained and all over the place. It's the, fun life of ADHD. You're just kind of everywhere unless you find something to gain your focus. Speaking of scatterbrained, I talked about the email address, didn't even give it to you guys. It's myquestion@dataminds.com. You can find it right down here somewhere. It's going to be scrolling. I don't know how Fred and Lou are going to do it. Maybe it'll be flashing. It'll look like, blue light special. Who knows? So these are all the things that we're going to do on this show. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to interacting with you folks online. I'm interested and looking forward to folks joining us here. We'll probably be changing the backdrop here. I really don't want to promote my company on this podcast. I want it to be very neutral. I want it to be very unbiased and want it to be just, purely informative, really easy to listen to. And I hope we have a lot of fun on the show. So I want all of you to enjoy the rest of this beautiful September day. Well, it's beautiful here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Really hope it's beautiful where you're at. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. Until then, have a great day.